Stand back. Take your best shot.
The scourge invades. Claw it out. It breathes. It is close.
That's the claviger. What happened?
Are you blind? We're being hunted. Get rid of the band, we'll talk after. Are you blind? We're being hunted. Get rid of the band, we'll talk after.
Show me what you got.
Mistake!
You monstrosity! Well done!
What happened to that bear?
My savior. Oh, thank the gods. Your arrival couldn't have been more timely. I can manage. This isn't my first brush with death, and it may not be my last. Ambassador Falchion Heelguard at your service, and you must be our Imperial envoy. Better late than never, I say. Keep it close until we're back at the embassy. I prefer to take bad news in the comfort of my office. Aren't you going to introduce me to your capable companion? Can he be trusted? Well, did he now?
A little faster, and we might have been able to save Clavenger Amon, too. Happy to have been of service, nevertheless.
I'm charmed. I take it you had business with the Clavenger? Poor fellow. It was the bear that killed him, of course. This wilderness has been a little too wild of late. Not before I've had the chance to tidy up some unfinished business. We heard alarming reports of a blight in the wilderness, and a strange corruption moving toward the city. The changes in the ecosystem are expected, but this one was progressing too rapidly to ignore. We tracked the corruption all the way here, but all we found was that creature gone mad. So, the rumors of plague were true. The situation is more dire than I imagined. We need a plan of action before whatever this is consumes the living lands.
We are here. Come to us. Commune with us. We have waited for you. Come.
What's the matter? Can you hear me? But you... Very well, if you say so. The Emperor trusts your judgment, and so do I. Whatever you think is best, I'll support it. You know something of our troubles. That much is clear. What would you have us do? You suspect a connection. Interesting. Ardra is said to be filled with essence, soul stuff, and maybe the essence will respond to a godlike's touch. Oh, just be careful. The Emperor would never forgive me if anything happened to you.
Take it slow. We'll be right here.
is you. Come closer. We feared you were but a dream. We wake from seasons of slumber. We have been waiting. We were drowning in our nightmares for so long. Your hand was a branch. Escape! We reached for you. And you are familiar to us. Our memories are fractured. But you too are alone in your strangeness. Godlike. This term means nothing to us. But why would you belong to another, shackled to their will? Shackled like us to rot and corruption. It spreads and festers and seeps and crawls. Poor bear, poor us, poor you. Yes, the air sings with its spores. It is everywhere. We can feel it. We fear it. We can see where it spreads. It is an infection. A foreign body invades. The host fights back. We feel the pain of this intrusion. It overwhelms. If an animal sickens after a fight, as it howls and sings its agony, what do you do? Death. Because some things might be pruned, some branches cut to save the tree. How much we envy the loving dead, peaceful under the flowers. The rot festers. We could suck the poison out, let green things grow in its place, and we could give you the gift of our healing touch. But a favor for a favor. Would you help us in return when we ask it? We offer you the power to heal and be healed, and you would wheedle and bargain? Decide, do you wish this power or not? A favor for a favor then. This place shall heal, and you shall know our power. We tire. New again this world, new again words. We will find you soon.
Incredible. Envoy, I don't know what you did, but that was miraculous.
You all right? You look like you were in a trance for several minutes.
What happened? What can you recall? Spare no detail.
I say we begin with a couple pints. This day's been stranger than most.
I've agreed to share my findings with the Steel Garrote, as long as they do the same. Not that she has any interest in ecology. Ludwig is obsessed with our security, sees enemies lurking around every corner. Perhaps, but danger takes many forms. some more subtle than others. The steel garrote provide us some much-needed protection, but they answer only to themselves. We have our interest in the living lands, and they have theirs, a mutually beneficial arrangement. Stay out of their way, and they'll return the favor. Ah, you're going to be troublesome, aren't you? At least. Good work, eh?
Just watch your step. There are swaths of the city barely more civilized than this. Whatever the Inquisitor wants, she can't be worse than that big, can she? You are full of surprises, Envoy. I'd heard godknights have strange powers, but I've never known one to heal an entire grove. Guess your Emperor really did send the right person for the job, huh? Still, you have your work cut out for you in Paradise. Enjoy the calm while you can.
The path to Paradise is a tad overgrown, but I can find my way back.
Old fella who used to live here ended up in one of those shanties by the dock. Now I see why.
What for you?
Who's ready for more? Hilgard doesn't seem like the kind of man you'd... into the frontier, does he? You seem much better suited to it.
think we've lost him. Next one's mine. That all you had?
Between tensions in the city and threats outside, the militia's in a... Riots are getting deadlier by the day, but people have to eat. Careful. Looks like spiders nearby.
Sink!
Nice shot! You're mine now!
Pargrunen built these walls and much of Paradis centuries ago. Much of their work still stands.
Nice!
This used to be a good fishing spot until something started dragging people away.
Well, well. If it isn't the new arrival. So eager to make a name for herself. I'm your death, swift and subtle, like a blade in the dark. And this here is Pod.
Hello.
Well, I can see which of you two is the poet. Unfortunately, you're both short on common sense.
Me and Pod, we aren't so fond of Outlanders. Especially ones looking as strange as you. For all we know, you're one of those sick bastards. The plague carrier. A blight on our fair city. That's right. Think of us as the Paradise Welcoming Committee, and you're not welcome.
Hey, that's not nice.
No one brings the plague into my town, Outlander. No one. At least you can die knowing it wasn't personal. Well, trouble wants you. Ha! Let's make it quick. You're not the only one with places to be.
Good. I was getting tired of listening to them anyway.
Oh no!
Good one!
First curtain leaves, his letters won't turn up. Que larde! I'd heard a godlike had come to Paradise.
Oh, hey, Sansa. Comes on a little strong, that's all. He doesn't bite.
But to meet you, what an honor. Who is your patron? Were you drawn to this place? A godlike of unknown provenance, even more interesting. Who knows? Perhaps you'll find the answers for here. Listen, you haven't been to the wilds east of the city, have you? I assume that's a no? Then have you seen a cartographer in the area? A human, about my height. Average build? Now, if he were a river, I could describe him perfectly. His name is Girmund. He's my assistant, and I'm worried about him. I sent him to map the eastern wilds. I knew it would be perilous, but it's been a long time since he's written, even for him. Cartography is not for the slight. It requires a certain initiative.
You know how many so-called adventurers I've saved out there?
It's an intrepid occupation.
3, this month.
As I said, if you find him and bring me his map, I'll be glad to pay you for it. I may even have more work for you. When he last wrote, he was mapping the eastern ruins. Take the letter. It might help. If you find him, bring his work to my shop in Paradise Island. You're welcome anytime. I have quite the assortment of curios. Maybe you'll even buy one of my maps.
Well, that's our marching orders then.
So, how long do you think it'll be before the locals realize how much good we're doing for them?
It's been a lot quieter since you arrived.
Envoy!
You should not be here. You should be free, whole, the blood feeding your veins. Why are you here? A space within emptiness, where the gods live and the dead wait. A cage, a prison. We feel the souls of multitudes, a current beneath the skin of this place. But now, we are trapped like wasps in amber. But you should be alive. Our beloved, they stole the bloom from your branch. An arrow broke the skin. It carried poison to your veins. A festering blot of corruption spread through the root and sap. It stilled your heart. It silenced the song in your mind. As many as the beetles and worms in the soil. But we do not want that. We could send you back. Just this once. You think of us. With your own escape so near, we are moved and decided. We will use our waning strength to free you. Then you must find us. Free us from our prison. You are ours. We tend to the sprout on the bough.
You're awake? Thank the gods. For a second there, I thought I had a problem on my hands. A voice? Tell me more. Suit yourself. Adirans are a tight-lipped bunch, aren't they? You're
Trip around the wheel, but I brought you here just in case. If anyone can work a miracle, it's Liviana, though whatever restored you is beyond even her skill. Hey, I'm sure you would have slung me over your back too, if our situations were reversed.
There's something I still don't understand. Envoy, you died. What you need is time to recover. Your soul has experienced trauma, and your body is still catching up. This is far beyond my expertise. You should visit Runid, our local watcher. She would know what to make of your strange, stubborn soul. One who sees into the spirit realm, speaks to the dead, and knows the past through their eyes. A watcher examines the soul down to its very core. I can't think of anyone more qualified for the job. Runid's shop is in the hills to the northeast. A bit of a walk. Just head out of the gate to the east of town and follow the path that curves to the north. It should be perched up in the hills. Oh, but avoid the watcher in Hightown. She's a known charlatan. I'll send word to the ambassador that you survived, but he'll no doubt want to talk to you. Head up the stairs outside my clinic and take a left onto the main road. That'll get you to the embassy.
I suppose following the chain of command will soothe his worries. Either way, I should go with you. Your assassination is bound to have stirred things up. Don't mention it. Besides, I don't want this to blow up any more than you do. The sooner we solve your murder, the better for everyone. And we should talk back at camp. I'm hoping you can help me understand what just happened to you.
Hey, I had a dream about you.
You're looking well.
Godlike.
Died? But you're here. Gods, am I glad to see you. Still can't believe you're alive. I'll keep trying. But there's not much to be done for Fort Northreach.
Envoy, hello. I'm glad to see you on your feet. Kai.
Tej,
I'm surprised they let you in here.
I'm surprised you're still gainfully employed.
I wouldn't say that. He's just curious company for you to keep. It's nothing like that. You run into all sorts of characters around here, is all. Some more polite than others. Very good, Mom. How can I help you? Inquisitor Ludwine is the commander of the Steel Garrote in Paradise. Were you to ask her, she'd say she keeps the peace. But she doesn't keep it so much as prosecute it. As ruthlessly as the ambassador will let her. She's also a veteran of the Steel Garrote's campaign in the Deadfire, where she died.
She's a death guard. Well, that explains a lot.
I don't know what happened to her there, but I suppose Wodica wasn't done with her yet. I only met her once. She was a mid-level member of the Steel Garrote then, chasing oathbreakers who'd fled Adiran law. She'd come back to the Imperial Archives to borrow a map to a place called Oathbinder's Sanctum. I remember she was furious because the map was quite poor. She worried about finding the place, about properly executing her duty to her god. She wanted, I think, to do a good job. So, while clearly she has changed, in some sense, I'd say she's much the same. Think upon your promises and die. That's the litany of the Steel Garrote, usually said right before they kill you. They're an order of paladins born and bred in Adir, though clearly they've found plenty of work beyond our borders. Their remit is simple but comprehensive. They punish all who break their oaths. In practice, that has historically meant contracts. One lord or merchant will hire the Steel Garrote to bring a duplicitous rival to justice.
Fun bunch. What are they doing in Paradise?
Since the events in the Deadfire, their operations have expanded. The Steel Garrote has always been associated with Wodica. Now, they are explicitly her order. And they go wherever Wodica's priests, or Wodica herself, believes there is a need for them to go. The Living Lands are a dangerous, lawless frontier in sore need of order. Thus, they are here. Or so the Steel Garrote say. Do you think so? I've always found her inflexibility comforting. Wodica's edicts are clear. If you obey her laws, pursue justice, punish the guilty, and give fealty to the Emperor, then you have pleased her, and I aim to please. But Wodica does not trust. She demands that you declare yourself for her again and again. Her every request is a test, and her every test is an opportunity to disappoint her. I appreciate a god who makes you work for their grace. I don't want anything given to me for free. Death guards are surpassingly rare. Some of the secretaries who traveled with our dignitaries in the Deadfire spoke of one named Iser, a devotee of Berith, who guards the hanging sepulchres there. But I've heard of no other. Refuse to pass on to the wheel when they die. Their soul haunts their body. The passion required to sustain them devours their flesh, and they swiftly turn to bone. I've never read a history nor tale of a death guard that did not end with them going quite mad. When they lose their capacity to care for anything but their cause, they cannot love. And when they cannot love, they cannot be merciful. And so everything before them becomes only an obstacle. By all means. I trust whomever told you to consult a watcher also told you to avoid the one in the city. She is a liar and a thief.
Oh, did you take your money?
No. Anyway, watchers are individuals capable of perceiving souls. The soul may be in a living body, or it may simply be lingering, waiting to pass into the in-between. In either case, interacting with a soul allows a watcher to glimpse a person's past lives or their most deeply buried memories. Watchers are incredibly rare, and in Adir, highly controlled. Many people wish to know who they were in a previous life, and do not like what they learn. A watcher doesn't need your cooperation or consent to read your soul. They could learn everything about you, terribly damaging things about your parentage, for example, or things you did in a past life, without you ever knowing. You see how this could threaten the established order, undermine our betters' right to rule.
Yeah, but that's just one side to it. Imagine how a watcher feels, knowing what a threat they are to the status quo. I don't know about you, but I wouldn't be keen on kings and emperors wanting me dead. Sounds like a lot of hassle.
Don't sell yourself short, Kai. I don't doubt you're an expert in people wanting you dead.
You're not wrong.
I rarely am, in any case. The Watcher is fundamentally a tragic figure. Of the few that survive our world, most are destined to go mad. The smart ones stay hidden. They do not announce their powers, perhaps not even to themselves. Even a careful watcher risks inadvertently revealing themselves by knowing something they shouldn't know. Of the ones that are public, little is concretely known. But we hear things. They make good judges in Wodika's courts, so long as they're controlled. The lords, it's rumored, buy and sell them to collect blackmail on their enemies. But I suspect many watchers are imprisoned or executed, or simply kill themselves. Well, the Watcher of Cadnua is legendary. It was their castle Aethys destroyed when he began his campaign of terror in the Deadfire. Oh, by the Queen, I hope I get to meet them someday. In terms of local interest, you'll have heard of Runid, of course. And there was Ida. You may not know about her. She was a watcher from the Living Lands. I believe she was an Orlan. She must have died, 150 years ago. Slain by a great serpent, gods treat kindly with her soul. Doubtless there are others, but Most don't meet a good end. Yes and no. So far as I understand it, a Watcher is born a Watcher. But it takes an event, often something shocking or traumatic, to bring a Watcher's powers to the fore. So you may be a Watcher, or I may be, or Kai, and we might not even know. I'm an open book. Well, you'll notice I'm nearly always here. If that man sleeps, I don't know about it. He wouldn't say, but I believe he relied on the claviger far more than he lets on. And without the claviger's steady hand at the rudder, the ambassador's struggling just to bail water from the sinking ship that is Paradise.
Claviger Amon might have tolerated a little more chaos than the ambassador liked, but he kept this place humming. He's not someone you can easily replace, and not with one man alone.
It's a difficult job. The pressure sometimes gets the better of him. But if he loses his temper now and then, I can't blame him for it. Better him than me. He doesn't know what to do with himself. You know, in our first days here, he'd often walk to the end of the docks at sunrise. The work was done, the embassy was closed, and he'd still be wearing the same clothes he'd slept in at his desk. And he'd just stare out over the sea. He always seemed dissatisfied back then. I suppose, years later, he still does. Be serious. Most of us here didn't get sent to the frontier because we were anybody's favorite. The longer I'm here, the more likely the people who matter are to forget me. And I'd actually like to get back to High Crown someday. Get married, have a few kids, take the civil exams, and settle into a permanent clerkship.
I guess there are worse ways to spend a life.
Like rotting in this embassy. Of course. There's a lot of ground to cover. Could you be more specific? There is no singular authority in the living lands.
Not yet, anyway.
I shudder to think what the living lands would look like under your rule.
Well, to start, there'd be a lot more brothels.
Charming. Power is invested in the leaders of the various townships scattered across the island. The largest are Fjord, Thirdborn, and Solace. None of which, I will note, are as safe and orderly as Paradise. Fjord Messeverno is located in a valley known locally as the Emerald Stair, named for the terraced rice paddies that cover its hillsides. It is our closest neighbor. The city, if you can call it that, was founded 50 years ago by animancers from the Valian Republics. Apparently, the laws governing animancy weren't lenient enough in the republics. So the city's founders came to the living lands, where they could practice their discipline more freely. Currently, Fjord is governed by a man named Ignacy Vidaro. Rather inept to hear the ambassador talk about him. Fjord's farmers supply most of the grain and vegetables we eat here in Paradise. Or it did. I believe that covers Fjord. The Valian Republics are a collection of city-states in the Eastern Reach, southeast of our former colony, the Deerwood. The republics began life as colonies of the Grand Empire of Valia, hence the name. But as Grand Valia's economy collapsed, well, the colonies saw an opportunity to escape the influence of the Empire of Origin, and they seceded, much as the Deerwood did from Adir. Now a mature confederation in their own right, the republics have recently indulged their own expansionist ambitions in the Deadfire Archipelago. Through their merchants in the Valian Trading Company, the republics will sell you anything you could ever wish to buy.
Up to and including people.
We should count ourselves lucky they've had no interest in the living lands. in a struggle between our Emperor and the Republic's great dukes. Well, I doubt we would come out on top. But if anyone asks, I was not the one who told you that. Everything you need to know about Thirdborn is in its name. It was founded by the Thirdborn children of Rawatai, Navy dropouts, smugglers, and hands for hire. Almawa and Orleans, mostly.
Home, sweet home.
You're free to go back any time you like.
I like my current circumstances just fine, thanks.
They are people, in short, who couldn't cut it in the civilized world and had to make room on the margins. Unfortunately, they are currently besieged by the Dream Scourge. We have sent some troops to lend what help we can, and the mayor... Solace is, what is there to say, really?
Yeah, they tend to have that effect on people.
The trouble is, I don't know much about Solace. Nobody does. They are an isolationist community of Pargrunan dwarves who live in the forbidding ways of Galawain's tusks. They don't let outsiders into their lands, and...
To talk about their experiences.
People aside, the land itself is incredibly hostile. The island's volcano, Mount Forja, rests at the heart of the region, and it's recently become active. Half the land is lava rock, and the other half is, well, literally lava. I don't know why anyone lives there. I have to assume they're all insane.
You have no idea.
Naturally. The Pargrunan are a unique community of mountain dwarves originating in Old Valia. As a people, they've made their name as explorers, builders, miners. No doubt you've seen their ruins in your travels, here, back home in Adir, and all across the world. They maintain a rich tradition of oral storytelling, chanted magics, and ritual carving, which they take great pains to record and transmit across their various communities. Even the most physically isolated Pargrun is not alone. Somewhere, one of their people is thinking of them and planning an expedition. Abidan must cherish them.
You sound like you admire them.
I suppose I do. Rawatai is one of the old empires, every bit as storied as Grand Valia or our native Adir. If Adir is to the southwest of the Living Lands, Rawatai is to the southeast. And unlike our home, their small continent is racked by terrible storms. This is due, or rather, was due, to the island's proximity to Andra's mortar, the unending super hurricane that once hid the ancient city of Ukaizo. Rawatai is largely peopled by Almawa, descended from those who fled the Deadfire Archipelago centuries ago, when Andra pulled the moon, Ioni Brather, into the sea. They are an aggressive, militant culture, and personally, I find their obsession with gunpowder rather quaint. They are also our chief rivals on the world.
As far as Navy brass is concerned, Adir doesn't really rate.
Now you're just making things up.
Sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but we don't think about you at all.
By all means. Should you ever need me, I will be here. Safe travels, Envoy.
Envoy, is it really you?
believe you're alive. When they dragged you to Liviana's clinic, I assumed the worst. How do you feel? And yet you rallied your spirits and reported for duty. Your dedication is admirable. But we'll return to the topic of your untimely demise shortly. Our first order of business is your purpose here in the Living Lands. You said you had a missive for me from the Emperor? I'm eager to see what our Emperor intends. Now, His Majesty names you a loyal servant of the Adiran Empire, and an extension of the throne's authority. Thank goodness, at least someone understands the gravity of our situation. Here's something to tide you over. But your work isn't finished just yet. You've seen how wild the living lands has become, both in nature and in politics. Sometimes I think the island has a mind of its own. No sooner had you arrived than you found yourself at the center of our troubles. Well, not to mention your abrupt and untimely death. This embassy has no shortage of political foes, but the dream scourge is what keeps me up at night. You've seen firsthand what it can do in nature. We can't let it reach the cities. Thank you, Envoy. The island is in capable hands. Inquisitor Ludwig thinks the plague is a distraction. She's more concerned about these local rebels fighting against the Empire. Your instincts do you credit. They were paradisans once, law-abiding laborers. Now, they're fugitives and oath-breakers hiding amongst the populace. They've sabotaged our work, killed our soldiers, and the final straw, attacked you out in the open. I look forward to hearing about it in your report. I won't lie to you, Envoy. Our position is tenuous. If we can't even defend ourselves, how are we to defend the living lands? But defend it. On your life. These Paradisan rebels must face justice. Ludwine goes where she likes, haunting the living lands like a vengeful spirit. She'll reappear when she chooses, and not a moment sooner. Let's make sure to give her some good news for a change.
Not many get a chance to solve their own murder, you know. I know someone who could help. A dwarven tracker named Marius. Kith or beast, there's little he can't find. He's staying at the Grinning Ballarrock, not far from Liviana's infirmary. We just take the main road east to the market, then head down the stairs and cross the canal. Rough part of town, even by the standards of Paradise. Blend in, for one thing. Marius is from the Tusks, about the harshest and remotest place the gods ever created, even by the standards of the living lands.
Trickery, lies. The gods did not build this place.
Let's just say no one survives out there without picking up a few skills, the kind we'll need if we're going to find hidden assassins. Especially if they're from the streets of Paradise.
I suggest you recruit as many allies as you can, but choose carefully. They, like you, will represent the Empire. But before we can send you off to parts unknown, we need assurances from the local healer that you're fully recovered. After all, you survived a brush with death. The health of your body is one thing, the health of your soul is another. You haven't seen what's really outside of these walls. Trust me, that bear was the least of it.
He's right about that much, Envoy.
Remember, the assassin is out there. You have the element of surprise. I suggest you use it.
Tracking down mysterious assassins with a godlike who returned from death, all while the rumored dream scourge spreads. Can't say I'm prepared, but I'm ready.
We'll talk more of the Dream Scourge when you return. Until then, Envoy.
How about we start with Marius at the Grinning Balrog? Besides, I could use a drink after all this.